Hello, I'm the 10-minute English teacher. Let's get you exam ready. Today, I'm going to be providing you with an analysis of the quote from Arthur Miller's play, Death of a Salesman, "A man is not a bird to come and go with the springtime." Before we get going, don't forget to like and subscribe. There are plenty of things on the channel to help you know the play like an expert. Okay, let's analyse the quote, "A man is not a bird to come and go with the springtime." The first thing we need to do is think about where this quote appears in the play, the context of it. So Linda says, "A man is not a bird to come and go with the springtime." In Act 1, Linda is talking to her son Biff about his ambitions, and she wants Biff to settle down and have a career and a family, much like his father Willie, and accept responsibility. Now we need to think about analytical things that we can actually say about this quote to explore what Linda's mindset might be and what she might be trying to communicate. So this simile foreshadows Willie's death. In Act 2, leading up to the climax of the play, Willie is in the darkness planting carrots as his family worry about him. So springtime and also growth is something that symbolises Willie's desire to have some sort of legacy, but also his failure in being able to secure that for himself, and this is something that is foreshadowing his demise. What else can we say about this quote? Well, she could be talking here about Willie and his lapses in and out of reality. There's another way of interpreting this moment. This could emphasise how Linda is a tragic victim and highlights her misery and loneliness. Much like a bird coming and going with the springtime, Willie lapses in and out of reality, and his sanity is something that leaves him, and constantly throughout the play and obviously throughout their lives. Something else we can say about this moment is this. Linda defends Willie unconditionally, but this could be seen as veiled criticism. She doesn't ever openly say anything overly critical about Willie, but this could be veiled criticism. Willie has been an absent father and husband throughout their lives, and he's also been unfaithful, although we never know whether or not Linda truly understands and knows that. But this could be seen as a comment relating to him. She's in many ways maybe felt completely alone and isolated throughout her life, and perhaps this could be a reflection of her frustrations in Willie for being the husband that he has been to her. And therefore that could be something that is emphasising the idea that Willie is partly to blame for his own downfall. Something else we can say, well, this could actually be a bit of criticism, social commentary from Miller himself. So he could be critiquing the American dream. This could communicate the idea that men like Willie were trading freedom, and do trade freedom, for responsibility and suffering. Birds and obviously springtime are things that we associate with freedom and growth. Those are things that Willie has not been able to achieve in his working life. So it could be something that is critical of the American dream. Now, this is a really good quote, and the reason why it's so great is because it's usable for a number of different reasons. If you're writing an essay about a number of different themes, this is a quote that could feature. So if you're writing about evil and the idea of this being a tragedy and evil being a part of it, well, Linda is not an evil character. She's unconditionally loving towards Willie and wants the best for her boys. Ultimately, she ends up completely alone and has lived quite an isolated life. She is a victim of Willie's pride. Another thing that we can talk about is dreams. We've got Biff's dreams to have this independence and freedom that is at odds with reality. And we can talk about the idea that Linda has much more of an insightful understanding of life and the futures that the boys will be living. If we want to talk about the setting, we have got this idea of springtime and growth that we could make a link to. And also disillusion is a thing that we could explore using this key quote. Willie is a completely disillusional character, and Linda seems to have more of an understanding of reality and also of society than Willie himself does, even though Linda is somebody who has lived within that domestic sphere as a mother and a wife. She seems to understand society a lot more than Willie does, with his talk of dining with the mayor and all of these ambitions that simply are at odds with reality. So she's got much more of an understanding of reality, and it's quite interesting that Willie, because he is a metaphorically blind character who can't see the truth because of his own pride, it's interesting that he doesn't understand the wisdom and the understanding that Linda actually has, and he doesn't benefit from her insight at all. We can talk about downfall. Well, ultimately this is informing the end of the play, because we've got a bit of foreshadowing here, but also Willie's downfall has a huge effect on Linda, and she's a tragic victim. If we're talking about waste, well, ultimately Linda's happiness is at the expense of Willie's downfall. Now, if you want to take it further, Interestingly, we can make a bit of a leap towards exploring the relationship of Willie and Linda a bit further. So here's a quote, or you could simply make a reference to the fact that Willie does not listen to Linda and doesn't benefit from her insights or her understanding. And he says to her, don't interrupt in Act 1 when there's a conversation between Willie, Linda and the boys. Can you somehow link these two quotes to each other? What different essay themes might they work together to explore? Okay, check out the other videos on my channel. I'll continue to add content. Feel free to ask something you'd like to see me cover in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and keep revising.